Shut up and sit down.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the KF Podcast, episode 140, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse review. I want to say thank you for listening. If you just stumbled across us on the interwebs, check us out at kfpodcast.com and the KF Podcast and all your other social media needs. And also check us out on SoundCloud at the KF Podcast, where we have weekly podcasts where we talk about things.
Fresh content.
Fresh content.
Fresh content.
So we have the normal crew and Lance. So we got Lance, Brock,
Hi.
Justin,
Hey.
Donald.
Hi.
So we went and saw Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse
Because Ken made us. No, it was a good call.
Yeah,
It was a good call.
I mean,
Really, you did, because I said we shouldn't, and you were like, no, I want to see it. And you guys were like, yeah, we'll go see it. But it was a good call.
So let's little spoiler-free thoughts. Was this? What'd you think? Don't everyone talk at once.
Well, pick somebody. Go ahead.
Lance, go ahead.
I think there was amazing animation, and I do believe it was a really good story. Overall, I'd say it was a good movie.
Brock.
I enjoyed it a lot. I think it's going to be a new franchise for them. I really think they set it up for that. Like Lance said, the animation was it was great. It was cutting edge. It was very trippy at times, because they try to blend a bunch of different animation styles. You had traditional, you had 3D, you had anime. It was
It looked 3D, kind of.
it did.
And I didn't have glasses on.
I was going to say there were a couple spots where I was looking at the screen and thinking, okay, this is a 2D, but I can see the other, the edges. Am I supposed to have glasses on? Did I come into the wrong show? What's going on here?
Well,
but I think that was just a style that they were utilizing for the animation.
When we first went in, they didn't have the projector running. Remember, they stopped and then they started it. So at one point, I thought, well, maybe they just actually loaded the 3D one because the other one wasn't working or something.
Yeah.
I think it was meant to look like a comic book come to life.
Yeah.
Which it did.
It did.
Yeah. Justin?
I really liked it as well. Again, the animation was good. It did get a little weird for me at a few points, but it's a new thing, and I think it's just something that I'm going to have to get used to after I watch it a few times. It's something I'll go back to. There was enough in it that makes me want to go back and catch more little Easter eggs and things. So I'll definitely watch it again once it hits video.
So you had a good time.
I had a good time. I was trying to avoid it, Lance, but you made me say it.
Good.
All right, Donald, thoughts?
I have to say that I was pretty negative about this movie. I thought it looked very stupid from the trailers. I really had no interest at all of even seeing this movie. But I don't think it had the best storyline to it. But I think the main thing about this movie is that it was really entertaining. It was very... Even as an adult, you could watch it because there was a lot of emotion in this movie. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of deep, emotional connection between the characters, which I felt really genuine. You really felt bad when certain characters were talking about losses that they had or things that happened. I was like, wow, this is actually really touching. I thought Miles' father was a really cool character, and his relationship with his son, the way they did that. It's a good family movie. It's really something, if you have little kids, I think you should take them to and watch it. I watched it with my son, and I felt during the movie, I patted him on the back a couple times. It got to me as a dad, a lot of the scenes in the movie. And it's a touching story. It was really well done, and the voice acting was phenomenal in it.
It was.
I mean, they were really, really talented. The animation's really cool. It'll make you sick. At the end, some of the weird shit going on. But it was really, really well done. I was really impressed by it.
Please, parents, take your kids to see this instead of Deadpool.
Yeah, don't go see Deadpool and all that crap. Bring your child to this, because this is...
It's made for them.
Yeah, this is something that you can enjoy with the whole family. This is something that you can put on multiple times throughout the years and watch it again and enjoy the humor of it and the closeness of it. And it's just a good story.
And even if you didn't have any clue about the other Spider-Man or the
You
Spider-Man
don't, yeah, you don't need
story.
to. Yeah,
You don't need to.
It's all encapsulated into the movie.
it was very well directed and put together the way they planned it out and executed it. You know, you didn't have to overthink things. It was well done.
They told you what you needed to know.
Yeah.
I also thought the soundtrack was pretty incredible, which I think we kind of knew based off of some of the artists that were involved, but it was where they fit the songs in and how the background score, and then they would switch to an actual like song. It was the soundtrack and is going to be really cool once it comes out, if it isn't already.
And how it was actually integrated into the dialogue and the story itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What'd you think about it, Ken?
I thought that this movie perfectly portrays why, if you want diversity in comic books, you need to make it yourself. You can't just take another character and turn it into a female or an ethnicity. Miles Morales is a great character, and the stuff that he goes through to become Spider-Man is a great story. And I feel like this movie should be a hit, and it should propel that character into a forefront where we can see more of him. I thought it was great. I really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
It's I think it's a great Spider-Man story for the time period we live in. It makes it very modern, and yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start spoiling the crap out of this so we can talk about it.
Say it, Jonathan.
Spoilers!
So
So I have a question that leads to a spoiler.
Okay.
all right.
So, the character his uncle played, the villain that his uncle played in the movie,
Prowler.
is that comic accurate?
Oh.
Too?
Potato internet.
That Aaron Jones is the Prowler? Don't get
Yeah,
upset.
is that comic accurate?
Yes.
Yeah, that's comic accurate.
Well,
yeah.
it's Ultimate
Okay.
Comics. It's
Yeah.
one of the times.
He's a good guy in the regular Marvel universe.
Yes.
Yeah, but in the universe that Miles Morales is from,
That's accurate.
that's an accurate story.
This was definitely Ultimate Spider-Man universe because the Green Goblin's like a big creature instead of like Norman Osborn in a suit flying around on a glider. He's like a monster
Yeah.
over there, and it
Okay.
was like Ultimate Scorpion.
Right.
It was
Yeah.
Ultimate Dog.
I hate Ultimate Scorpion.
Yeah, they're the villains are a little out there.
I like the Doctor Octopus was cool.
Yeah.
I mean, the way they did her
like
her
they're
tentacles.
like latex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scorpion was dumb.
Yeah.
Prowler was cool though.
Yeah.
He was.
The noises that they made when he was like hunting you was like eerie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, wow, that's kind of cool the
It
way
was
he,
sort of predator-ish, right?
Yeah, it was.
He was
definitely
way
cool.
cooler than any comic
Version
interpretation.
of the
Yeah,
Prowler,
yeah.
yeah. Or any action figure they ever made of him with his big dopey hands and the fingers that came out. Yeah,
Yeah, it was the coolest version of Prowler we've seen
Yeah.
in any kind of media.
I didn't understand why he needed a motorcycle though if he could fly.
I don't think he could fly for a long time. I think it was bursts.
Yeah, it was
It was
like,
like jetpack type.
Yeah. he was cool though. That was very touching with the uncle and the way they did all that and
Yeah.
everything. You know, with the dad. I thought Nick Cage as Spider-Man Noir was fabulous.
It was great.
He was
That was
hilarious when he debuts, and they're like, "There's no wind. We're underground. Why is this?" Like he's constantly blowing in the wind, and
He's like, and I always smell rain. It's like, what?
Or trying to figure out the Rubik's Cube when
Yeah.
you come from a world of black and white.
he's like, "What color is this? Yellow? Which one's this? Is this red? No, that's orange. What's this? Purple?" And I'm like, "No, that's not purple because he's all black and white." He was fantastic. That was hilarious.
I liked Chris Pine as blonde Peter Parker.
Yeah.
And then I don't know the guy's name, but Nick Miller from The New Girl for for Peter B. Parker.
So that's one of the spoilers: is that the Spider-Man of that world, like an Ultimate, dies fighting the
Yes.
Green Goblin and all that. It did it a little differently. That was a very emotional scene.
Yeah.
When he's like, he knows he's going to die, and he's like telling him to move on, and the things he was saying to him about, you know, you got to. That was a good scene. I was surprised Kingpin was in that movie. I didn't think that was.
He looked awesome though.
Yeah,
he was so big.
His little head.
Well, he dwarfed Tombstone.
Yeah.
Oh, he's huge. Just
everyone.
a head with a giant
He
blob
was
like
shaped
that.
like a tombstone.
yeah,
But he was throwing buses and stuff.
Yeah, he was
was-
like super strong.
yeah.
He was cool. I thought Green Goblin was a little weird looking. He looked like Fin Fang Foom.
Yeah, but that's what he looked like.
Yeah.
Yeah, big monster type
Mm-hmm.
character.
I didn't really understand where the spider came from. Like, that bit him. Like, did it come from the dimensional thing? Like,
So it came from the lab because it had Alchemex on the body.
Yeah.
And it said
It
42.
did glitch though.
It did glitch.
It
I
did
think
glitch.
I think it was coming from another universe. Probably Universe 42, because 42 showed up a lot in this.
Yeah.
Like in scenes where he'd be
that's true.
standing around, like it'd be like 42, and then like the number 42 is in this movie.
What
a
is
lot.
40? What was Universe 42?
I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's going to play into something else, but even there's one scene where where he's going through and he's hitting into a bunch of stuff and he falls down the ground and all the letters and numbers crash and the only two that are laying there is 42.
So it's got to be something with 42.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's
Maybe
the
that's the
number.
Ultimate Universe.
Don't talk
or
about
something.
the end yet, the secret ending yet, if that's where you're going.
No.
All right.
No. What I was going to say is that's my guess is that this is Earth 42, because if you remember when they first open up, the first time they open up the dimensional thing, they showed the map and they showed the dimensions that were open up, and I saw like the 616 universe and like there was a 60 something universe, and I couldn't see them all, but
Yeah, but I think there's a lot of Easter eggs in this thing.
Oh yeah, there was.
I saw every time someone opened a phone, the first 5 names were people that wrote Spider-Man.
Right.
It's like B. Bendis.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, I can't.
Yeah, you can't even get them all. There was a lot of them in there.
Yeah, like everyone's phone, like logs had comic book writers in it.
I didn't really care for the anime Spider-Man girl. I didn't really know what that one was from. She was a spider was in a robot, and that was a little. I didn't really. That one.
the
Was,
Psychic Link,
Yeah.
Penny Parker.
Well, I mean, to me, that was a nod to Spider-Man.
Yeah, and I think because they couldn't get it,
Yeah.
the actual thing.
Spider-Ham was funny at first, a couple lines, but that one was kind of.
Well, I mean, how much was he actually? He maybe had 10 lines total. Spider-Man.
I like when he said, "Can animals talk in this universe, or should I not scare them or whatever?" That was
Or
a good
freak 'em
line.
out.
Lily Tomlin as Aunt May
was
Yeah.
great.
was great.
It was great.
Yep.
She was not the feeble Aunt May. She was,
No, it was good. And the way
She
again,
knocks the shit out of Tombstone.
Yeah.
yeah.
that's right.
And again, her scene when she sees Peter again, the way she is with him, that was very cool. That was a
Right.
very emotional, touching scene.
And I like how, but she also got it. She's like, well, yeah, he told me there'd be other universes.
Yeah.
And like,
Peter B. Parker. His montage was hilarious.
Oh, yes.
He's like, I've been Spider-Man 22 years, I did some things, and I ate some pizza, and this happened, I got a lot of shape. Like, his was great. That was a great segment, and then Mary Jane left me, and he's eating pizza. And,
Are you wearing sweatpants?
I want to see that movie.
yeah, he was good. He was a good... Who voiced him?
that was Nick Miller from
That was
New
Nick
Girl.
Miller from
Yeah.
New Girl. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, he was pretty funny. I really enjoyed him.
Yeah, he was great.
They could make a movie for all those characters very easily.
Well, I kind of think, and I guess we can bring up the post scene. The post scene was what?
Spider-Man 2099,
Okay.
and him hopping through dimensions to get to
And he
the
went
original.
back to the old 80s cartoon.
No, 67.
67 cartoon.
It's like we got to go where this originated, and it's that you always see those memes of that cartoon, how horrible it was,
Yeah.
and just them pointing at each other for 5 minutes.
I
I
think
can
you,
just say that the best part of that cartoon was the theme song.
yeah.
Yeah.
Damn it! I didn't stay for the ending.
I
What?
I
Oh,
missed the post credit.
oh, it was
This is
great.
supposed to- yeah, it was Spider-Man 2099,
And he goes
Okay.
back to yeah, you have to go see.
which I think I would like to see for these movies going forward. That maybe Spider-Gwen are going to keep her around.
Yes. Yeah.
Because they had a little relationship. So maybe it's the two of them.
and always different.
And different ones. So maybe, or even bring back because he was so good. I keep calling him Michael B. Jordan. Peter.
I mean, bring him back too. He could be
maybe
Superman.
have those
Peter
three,
B. Parker.
and then do Miguel O'Hare,
Yeah.
maybe Ben Reilly, Scarlet Spider.
Yep.
You could. There's so many Spider-Men,
Yeah.
Brock said, to choose from.
You could do Earth X. You can even bring back. Let's get Ron Friends a payday. Bring Spider Girl into this.
Yeah,
There you go.
Spider Girl, Mayday Parker.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many different ones you could use.
Maybe Peter B. Parker will have her, and because that was why they broke up. They
Oh,
wouldn't
that's
have
right.
kids.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think you could go a lot with those movies. That every Spider-Verse movie, it's a different collection of
I'd like to
Spider-Man.
see even because they, I always have the what ifs where This is Spider-Man when he kept his four other arms.
Yeah.
Like, bring that guy in. Bring Peter living in like
The doppelganger Spider-Man.
From the new video game.
Yeah.
I'd just like to give another shout out to the animation. I mean, Spider-Gwen, if you looked closely, they actually even had the pyramid
Come on.
pattern on her costume.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you could actually see the cross hatches.
Why-
Even Miles too. When they zoomed in on his arm
Mm-hmm.
with the black and red, you could see the.
Yeah.
and you could tell it was spray painted.
Yeah.
Because of the black wasn't solid.
Oh yeah, it was.
The
It
animated was
Yeah.
great.
It was really cool the way they did it. You know.
Is it weird that I thought animated Spider-Gwen was a little hot?
Yes.
Yes, very creepy. She's 16 or yeah.
No, she said she was older.
Yeah, by a few months.
I wouldn't say that I'm surprised. But I would say it's a little creepy. Just
You know what else I found really interesting? One of the things they brought up is how, like, when Peter explained to him, because I always thought, like, if you're sticky, like, how do you let go? And he was like telling him how, like, you have to stop thinking about it. You have to like focus, almost like it's like a skill, you know, like a reaction to it. And how when he did it and he was able to let go, that was cool. The way they walked him through his
Getting
powers.
used to his powers.
Yeah, and I never knew that Miles had those other abilities too. I didn't know that.
yeah, he doesn't use. I've never seen him use the invisibility stuff too often. But
The spider bite.
the stinger, because it's something that. Because it was supposed to be the spider that bit him, from what I can remember, was a different blend of spiders than the one that got Peter Parker.
Okay. So you could do some different things.
Yeah, like there's a spider that does create a small electrical jolt. I don't understand the invisibility one though. That's the one that.
I didn't know spiders
That's
could
kind of camouflage thing.
Yeah,
If spiders can turn invisible, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I think it is a camouflage where he
Yeah.
doesn't actually turn invisible. It's like he can like.
It,
Yeah.
it
like
was
chameleon.
it was a pretty funny scene when they built up the spider biting him to such drama,
Yeah.
sinking its teeth in it, and then he's just like flicks it off like it's not a big deal at all. That was well done. They really, like I said, the person who put this together,
It's the guys from the
directed-
Lego movie.
Yeah.
they did a good job of really flowing it nicely. That it made a lot of sense.
What about that scene with the Prowler when he got into the apartment and Peter is sort of trying to, or Miles is sort of trying to avoid him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was very suspenseful and very well done.
Yeah, very well done. Yeah.
I still think you would have seen it with all his tech.
Yeah.
Well,
he kinda
but
did
in
at
a
the
switch
end.
lenses.
But he did see him on the fire escape
Yeah.
Yeah.
when he was invisible.
Yeah. I think he needed to switch to his heat lenses. I think that's what they were kind of going with.
They did a lot of things differently with the explaining stuff. You remember when he was explaining them how to web hand with
Right.
one? He was
Yeah.
like, pull it back, shoot it, pull it. Like,
Yeah.
I like that he was like teaching you,
He was sort of mentoring.
mentoring the dynamics. How this is how we do stuff. You do it that way. You
Well,
do
it's
this
something we've never seen in a Spider-Man storyline. Like, it's always Spider-Man, like, it's
Figuring out
always
on
an
his
uncle
own.
that dies. It's
Yeah.
always him figuring out on his own. And Miles is going to be the only one that actually got a group of people to show him.
Also, speaking of Sony's Spider-Man stuff, the Spider-Man that dies in that is
They're-
the Spider-Man from all the movies.
Yeah, which is they pretty much say because he dances like
He's
Yeah.
he did dancing. He did all
We
the.
don't really talk about that much.
Yeah.
I will say that this is probably the best Spider-Man movie Sony's done.
I think I'd agree.
If you go with
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
three and Amazing and all that, it's probably one of the best Spider-Man movies done.
I would agree.
only the new guy, whoever that is, that's tied into the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's
Yeah, different movie because that was like an MCU
yeah.
introduction movie.
But
and
just
all.
the Sony Spider-Man movie, yeah, I think it's
yeah,
the best
because
one
I
they've
mean
done.
the Sony ones were really out there for some of the ones they did. They, this is where they need to focus more of their
Yeah.
stuff on.
Do the animated ones.
Yeah.
Stick to that.
You got a deep bench of characters you can go to.
I think this is probably one of the best Marvel animated shows I've seen.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
DC has always been the king of animated shows.
Yeah.
Where Marvel
I
animation
can't name a
has.
good Marvel animated movie.
Neither can I. I mean, they've mostly been crap.
I like the next Avengers animated movie
Yeah,
with
yeah.
kids.
Yeah,
I
that
was-
one, my kids like
But
that one too.
all of those, all of the Marvel animated things, to me, always harken back to Saturday morning TV.
yeah.
But this one actually, cutting edge animation,
Yeah.
a storyline with a duality. So as an adult, you get something out of it. As a kid, you get
An
something
all-star
out of
cast.
it. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, all-star cast, all-star soundtrack.
Yeah.
I'm curious how it's going to do.
I
Not a lot of people there for a Thursday showing.
no.
No,
It was empty at my theater too.
Yeah.
There are maybe 5 other people besides us.
Yeah.
But I mean, holiday season coming up. Kids are out of school.
Yeah.
It's going to be on the list.
Kids
Yeah.
won't go on Thursday nights, but they'll probably go over the weekend
Right.
to see it. So yeah, well done. Are we ready to give it ratings? Tough to give it ratings because I think this rating scale, you can't compare it to. This should be like as an animated movie, not compared.
Well, I was going to say this should be cordoned off as a different genre.
It's a different genre. You can't rate this the same as you're going to rate like Infinity War and all these different movies. So animation movies, different rating. Do you want to do a different, still 1 out of 5 or
Do 1 out of 5, but put it as a different spot in the statistics.
different spot in the statistics?
Doesn't count in the average.
Yeah. Does that make sense to you?
It makes sense to me, but I don't know if I actually want to like. But no, we can. I feel like I want to grade it because I think it was better than like Suicide Squad and like.
Well, yeah, it's tough to rate. I don't know. Yeah, obviously it's better than Suicide Squad. It's better than Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and a couple other stink bombs in there.
I'm giving it 4 bandanas on a regular scale of movies.
Didn't we just say we're going to different scale of rating, and then he goes right to that?
No.
All right, so on your regular scale of rating is 4. What is it on your animation scale?
4.
It's a 4. It's the same on all of them.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Just can't give anything a 5.
Lance?
Give it a 5.
I give it 4 bald heads on the regular scale. 5 on the animation
I'm
scale.
not giving it a 5 on the animation scale.
Oh, wow.
I'm not giving it a regular one. I can't. I don't know how to put it in there. What do you say?
I'm going to give it a 4 on both scales.
Just a 4 all around. That's what you did too. Just
Yeah.
4 all around.
4.
All right.
4 overall movie.
Justin? Is he asleep?
What's he doing to himself?
Quarter.
It's like his
A
hands-
quarter. He only wants to give it 0.25 points.
That's it? Just a quarter?
He really hated it.
4 1/4.
4 1/4.
4.
Potato Internet almost ruined the scale.
4.5 if you want to go to if you only want to do halves.
Animated movies, I would give it 4.5. I'd be very close to a 5 on it.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, it's good. It's well done. It's a really, really well done movie.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Ken. You're wise beyond your years.
It's
So now
true.
now you have
True.
on me Game of Thrones
Yep.
and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, right?
I know things.
You're up 2 on me. It's 2-0 still. In the battle between Dawn and Ken, it's 2-0 Ken. There you go. I've never given you any good advice in your life.
That's true.
At all. Any good advice. Maybe go on a second date with your now wife. I told you.
I didn't need your advice to do that.
To get on Tinder in the first place or wherever you went.
We met on. I'm not even giving them a plug because we're not getting paid for it, but it was not Tinder.
All right.
2 fish?
We went off the edge there. All right, take us out, Ken. Go see
right.
the Spider-Man.
Go swing with Spider-Man. Is that what you said?
Swing with them.
All right, go check us out on the places I said at the beginning of the podcast. KFpodcast.com, the KF Podcast, and everywhere else. SoundCloud. Make sure you check stuff out. And please like, share, subscribe. Tell us your thoughts in the comments. And kiss your mother in the mouth for me.